Hi everybody. If you are watching this now, you are catching the replay. I'm going to wait just a minute or two for anybody that's interested in hopping on. I'm also going to add in here a little tag here on what we are talking about. Let's see. Welcome guys, welcome, keep coming in. I'm very excited to be talking to all of you. I feel like it's been a little while. I'm going to wait a minute or two for some people to come in, and then we're going to get started. So I'm super excited that you guys are here. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to try and put a tag on here so anybody that comes in knows what we're talking about. I won't have to keep repeating myself. Thank you guys for being patient. As soon as I get this figured out, it's been a while since I've done this. All right, let's see if I can make this. If I post it and then if I remember right. There we go. And I can pin it. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to get started. For those of you that maybe are stopping in for the first time ever, my name is Jen, obviously, Teach Love Autism, and I am a self-contained middle school teacher. I work with students mostly on the autism spectrum, but with students with intellectual disabilities, cognitive disabilities, sometimes physical disabilities, but for the most part, mostly with students with autism. I have 11 years of teaching experience. Not just in the field of special education, I've also taught regular education and alternative ed. But today, my main reason for popping in live to talk to you guys is because I wanted to show you the newest product that I have out in my store, and I'm super excited for you guys to be able to get to see something that I feel like is going to be like really good for almost any classroom. If you follow me, you know one of the things that I'm super passionate about is keeping things age appropriate. So being as I'm a middle school teacher, even though I work with students with disabilities, at times cognitively they may enjoy things such as Paw Patrol and Arthur and Mickey Mouse, and maybe some things that just quite aren't what teenagers are into these days. I still try to find good ways to incorporate things that are age appropriate for my students so that we can be respectful of the fact that just because they might not always have the same likes as a typical 13 or 14-year-old, that they still get those same opportunities. Doesn't mean that I keep my students from being able to watch shows they like or read books that they like, but I really try to provide them and expose them to things that maybe other students or of their age, their same age peers, would be around. And one way I have found that has been a great way to do that is using materials that have real photographs. So if you've been following me or my store for a little while, you know that that's something that I've really been pushing. I've really been pushing out products that have real photographs in them. So that's what I want to show you guys. So the product that I have is Real Photo Errorless file folders. So if you don't know, Errorless means that you cannot get it wrong. As long as you participate in the task and do the instruction that you're supposed to do, you can't get the answer wrong. And I'm going to be showing you here, I have it right here in front of me, I'm going to be showing you here very soon what that looks like. So errorless just means that there is no wrong answer or wrong way to do it as long as you participate in it. And I hope that makes sense. So for example, if you were doing a multiple choice question, instead of having 3 answers, you might only have the one on the table, and the student would take it off the table and hand it to you or point to you, and obviously that's errorless. There is no other option but the right answer. So that's what this is about. So I'm going to pull this product up for you. It is, one thing about these is it's big, because what I did is I wanted to really think about, this is actually 2 file folders put together. So that would be one file folder there, and what I did is I actually stapled, let me turn it around, I'll show you, and I stapled two file folders together to be able to make this product. And the reason I did that, I could have very easily just used one file folder, and you could as well if you wanted to. Let me make sure you guys are cropped up here good so you can see. You could very easily do two file folders if you wanted to and not do this one over here with the pieces, but I liked that option because for a student that is probably going to be using this material, you are not going to want the baggy or the loose pieces. I know a lot of the file folders I use, usually I have it closed and on the back or even on the inside flap, I might have some Velcro with a baggie, like a Ziploc bag with the pieces inside. But I decided for this type of material and the typical student that would probably be using it, I wanted those pieces right at their fingertips. So I decided to take two file folders. I'm going to just scan it really quick again so you can see it across. And this is a real photo of a paint palette. So something an artist would have. It's a real picture. This is a 2-page piece, so it is ginormous. Thanks, Gianna. I love them too. If you guys are loving this, just let me know. Or if there's anything that you see that you like, let me know. So it's a paint palette, just like an artist would have. And what I did is I took the image and made it so it fit on 2 pages, so it's nice and big. So for those students that maybe have some fine motor difficulties, or just for the sake of, I know I have students that need more pieces. And the one nice thing, and I'll get into that in a minute, is you can actually differentiate this to what you feel your students need. So for the full product, I decided to, you can see the Velcro circles on there just kind of all over the place. And the way that I put the Velcro on, it's errorless. So every time a student moves one of these pieces of this paint, there is no way to get it wrong unless you don't put it on the Velcro. So that was one thing I really liked about this whole idea, is that when the students go, and I'll just take, it's just a piece. Let me see if I can go up close so you can see. It is just, it looks like paint. It's just a blob of paint, and then the student can put it on to the palette so that it looks like a real paint palette with real paint on it. And then here's all the pieces. My daughter was playing with this and had to insist that all the same colors went in the same spot. I had it all mixed up, but she, I guess, is a teacher's daughter and wanted things organized and neat and monochromatic. So, but the one nice thing about this is it does not matter where you put the pieces, as long as the students get them onto this palette. They got it right, and it's completely errorless. And that's what I love about this product. So students don't need to have tons of academic skills. They can be your pre-academic students. They could be your academic students, and you're struggling to find a way for them to be able to do some work independently. So maybe you're going to use this with some of your pre-academic, nonverbal, non-readers that just need to work on that gross motor of moving something from side to side, and they're going to be able to move these pieces over to this, and they're going to have exactly what they need to be doing. And it's a functional thing, and it's also something that looks age appropriate no matter what age that student is. The other thing that I really like about this is the ability to differentiate and make this work for a student. Maybe you have a student that can only handle moving over these 3 pieces that you want. So guess what? You clear off all the rest of these pieces and just put the 3 that you want that student to do and have them move it over. They have the option to put it on any piece of Velcro that you want, and as they get really good at doing this, you can then add the more pieces over here to this. So the student can continue to grow and build and get better at the skill, or if they're a higher student that is able to do it all in one shot, they can do it all in one shot. You have the control of how many pieces they put on to this file folder, and I love that that's a great way to differentiate this product and make it work for so many people. And for so many students in your classroom. So I see this as a great way to work with students with pre-academic skills. I just want them to move the pieces. I see it as a great way to work for academic skills because look, it's colors. You could sit there and ask the student, what color is this? And have them put it over. You can use it in a teaching session, in a one-on-one instructional setting. If you're doing a lesson on colors, pass it around in a small group and have each kid take turns putting them on and telling you what colors they are. Or lastly, one of my favorite thing is put it into a work task system where students are working on building working independently, but because this task is so simple, it is something that almost any student could do in an independent workstation. So that's a lot of the things about these folders that I really like, and that whole differentiation piece is amazing. You can pick and choose to make this work the way that you want it to, and that's something I love. Another thing about these is what I really like with these folders is if you don't want to turn it into a file folder, there is no reason why you can't just print and go and cut and paste. There might be a little bit of extra cutting work on your part to do that, unless you have students that have good, decent scissor skills, and I'll be honest with you, they do not have to cut it out exactly the way I did. It could be a rough cut, just a circle around the image, and they can glue it on. You could do this, obviously if you're doing colors, you're not going to want to do black and white, but you could do that as well. So this is one of the ones that I have. One of the sets in my store is the paint palette. And I forgot to mention, in that the product that I have, there are 20 of these file folders. I'm just going to be showing you a few today, and if you guys really want, you can go to my stories, and there is a link in my stories to this product. And then the other thing you can do is you can also do, there's a link in my bio to my store, and you can go look there, and there's a whole video preview of the entire product showing you everything that's inside this product, all 20 file folders. It also comes with, so when you get these, I'm going to go back to the paint one really quick since you guys are familiar with it. So you get, sorry, so you get the board, like I call this the board, the piece with the Velcro on it that you're going to stick the pieces to. You get the boards, you get the pieces, okay, and then I also include the label. I don't have it on mine, but the label that you would put here that tells you what it is, and then you also get a label for the front. So that is all included with the product. You get 20 file folders, and you are able to prep these and go. All right, so I have one more I want to show you, and then we are going to see if you guys have any questions about anything. Again, these are my Real Photo Errorless file folders. It's a new product that's in my store, and I wanted you guys to be able to get a sneak peek at what it is. All right, so this one I am in love with. Like, I'm seriously, every time I open this up, I look at it and I just think it's the cutest ever. Now, maybe it's because I'm a dog lover, but there was just something about this one that just like melted my heart. So I had to prep this one to show you guys. And I have two daughters, if you don't know. One is 7 and one is 3 years old. And when they saw me prepping this, they were freaking out. They were like, Mom, can I do that? Can I do that? And they were like grabbing it from me before it was even finished being prepped. They wanted to do it so bad. So I'm super excited about this one. So as you can see, the board for this is, it's actually a park. Okay, and one of the things, like I said, with the paint palette one is that what is really key, and when you go to prep these, the only thing that you honestly can do wrong in prepping this is putting these Velcro dots potentially in the wrong spot. And when I say the wrong spot, I mean like you wouldn't put one in the trees, because if you were one of these cute little puppy dogs that I have here, you probably wouldn't in real life see a dog in a tree. You might, but in most cases, you would not see a dog in a tree. So you could put the Velcro dots. If you notice, I didn't put any Velcro dots in the trees. I made sure they were all in the grass, because realistically, that's where these dogs would go. So the paint palette, you could kind of put it anywhere, but if you put it outside of where that paint palette was, that doesn't make sense. So that's why I'm saying you could make the mistake by putting the Velcro in the wrong spot. But it really isn't that hard to just look at the images and think about, okay, if these are dogs, where would they go on this board? So as you can see, there's quite a few pieces to this, and that's something I like because I know in a lot of scenarios with the students that I work with, and especially if they're the students that I want using Errorless products, there's like 2 steps to it. Like, it doesn't take up much of their time. It doesn't keep them working for a good period of time. So I wanted something that not only was age appropriate, could be differentiated to meet their needs, but also something that was going to keep their attention and help to fill in some of their day so it would be purposeful and meaningful for them. So I wanted something that had a good amount of pieces. And like I said, with the other product, the other file folder that I showed you, you can choose how many pieces you want them to start off with. So if you have a student that you think can handle putting 5 pieces on this board, you have them start with 5. If they can do 10, you do 10. If they can do the whole thing, you have them put every single one of those stinking cute dogs on there that you want. I'm going to try and go a little closer so you can see. So I have some standing, I have some sitting, I have some jumping, I have some with little balls in their mouth. All of these are different dogs and doing different actions. And like I said, I'm actually going to flip this back so I can show you guys the whole thing. I'm going to push you back a little bit. So with this product, what you're going to do is just like the paint palette product, you're going to take this little dog right here and maybe he's going to go there. Okay, and the student is just going to continue to move the pieces over until all the Velcro dots are filled up or until they run out of pieces, whichever you choose to do. And as you can see, you can fill this up and they really cannot get it wrong. As long as the student, this is the beauty of the Errorless part of this, as long as they put it on a Velcro piece, it looks right, it looks appropriate. You can talk about with your students that are your pre-academic students, maybe you're just going to have them on an AAC device tell you dog, okay? Or maybe you're going to have them tell you what color they are. Or for your higher students that maybe are able to be verbal or that are able to understand things like verbs, you could say, what is he doing? And they could say jumping. You could say, you know, what is he doing? Laying. What is he doing? Sitting. You could ask about this guy right here. He's got a ball in his mouth. You could say, what is he playing with? A ball. So you can really take this and expand it into more than just a file folder that is done. You can make it into a verbal activity. You can make it into something where they do this and then they have to write a sentence. The dog is jumping in the park and they have to write a sentence about it. So there's so many ways to expand on this set that I really like because you can do this with so many students. And again, maybe you only prep this page like I have it right now, and you only prep enough pieces for this page. And then as the student gets better at it, you can add that second page and make it just a little harder for them. So if you guys have any questions, if you want, I can do a list of, like this is the dog park one with the dogs. I did show just a little bit ago, this is the paint palette where there's the paints that would go onto the palette. If you guys want me to tell you what other ones are included, of course you could go to my TPT store. It would be the first product at the top in my most recent. You could also go in there and see a full preview of the entire thing if you want to actually be able to see the entire product. I could also read off to you right here in the live if you guys want. Give me a thumbs up if you want me to just tell you right now what the other ones are. And I tried to come up with, like I said, real photographs, as realistic as I could get, so that our students had the opportunity to be around materials that are functional. Don't get me wrong, I love the clip art. I think clip art can be so much fun to look at, visually stimulating. but there's times when we need the real pictures. We just need to. We need our students to be able to generalize. We need our students to be around the real things. So I'm seeing some thumbs up from you guys. Thank you so much for giving me that feedback. So I will definitely, in the next minute here, do that. So this is something I really like about, I'm going to pull up my computer right now so I can read off to you some of the other file folders. And I'll be honest with you, this is not a, it's not, a lot of times with the products in my store, if you're familiar with them at all, I've done like household sets, I've done animals only, I've done sports themed sets, and not, I'm not saying specifically for this real product, but just my products in general tend to have some kind of like a theme. I didn't do that with this product. I just went with a bunch of different types of, scenarios, of backgrounds, of things that I felt were realistic for you guys, that would also be fun and engaging for the students, so that not only could they just work on moving those pieces over from one side to the other, like I've been telling you, that you could also build on vocabulary, build on getting your students to speak more, to get them to describe things more, get them talking more. Something that I'm really passionate about on top of age-appropriate materials is helping my students communicate however that is possible for them. So when I made this product, I had some of that in mind, knowing that that was another way I was going to branch and kind of elaborate from just doing a simple file folder. All right, so I will go through real quick. Do you guys want me to show you my computer screen? I feel like it might be confusing. You might be better off going to the link in my profile and going to my store and seeing the video preview. But I will tell you what some of the other ones are. I have a fish tank one with fish. I have one that's a picture of the sky with airplanes and hot air balloons and things like that you can put on it. The dog one's included, of course, and the paint palette one that I just showed you. I have one that's a scrapbook with photos in it that you can do. I have one that's an Arctic scene with the animals, so very similar to this one, but instead of this being a park with the dogs, I have a scene of like the North Pole with all the animals on it. So, and then I have one that's a bookshelf, and they have to put the books with the spines hanging out onto the bookshelf. Another one is just an ocean scene, so it's all blue water, and I have starfish and coral and turtles and fish and sharks and lobsters that you can put in the ocean scene. Another one looks like a big apple tree, which would be perfect for this time of year, and it's all the leaves and branches from an apple tree, and they have to add on more apples to the apple tree. The paint palette one, I definitely have. The dog park one, I have one that looks like a silver cookie sheet, and they have to put cookies onto the cookie sheet. Oh, another one I have is just a room, so it literally looks like a big wall of like your living room. And then I have portraits or pictures in giant picture frames that they would put onto the wall, as if it's like one of those like gallery walls that you'd have in your house with all the pictures in it. Another one that I have is a cabinet, so it's a wooden cabinet that would almost look like a pantry in your kitchen, and they have to put things like peanut butter and mac and cheese and goldfish crackers inside, and they are the real pictures of those items, not clip art. Everything in this product is real photographs, okay? So everything I'm describing you, the backdrops and the images that go on, just like my little doggy park here, real photographs, people. We're keeping it real. We're generalizing for our students. We're keeping it functional. That is what this is about. The other one is a refrigerator, putting in dairy products, milk, yogurt, soda, fruit, all kinds of things like that. Another one I have is the backdrop is a box of chocolates that are empty, like that little tray that's inside a box of chocolates, and the students have to put the chocolate inside it. And then, oh, another one's the inside of a donut box. This one I really like. And it's got all the different donuts, and you have to put them inside the box. I have like a desert scene, so a desert scene's your backdrop, and then I have cactus and coyote and tortoises and mountain lions and snakes that you can put on. I have one that the backdrop is dirt, and you would put plants in it to almost resemble like a raised garden bed. Another one is a lake picture, so it's lake is your backdrop, all the water, and you have to have the students are going to put sailboats all on top of the water. Another one I have is the savannah, which I then have giraffes and cheetahs and lions and rhinoceroses that they would put onto that backdrop. Another one, and I believe that's my last one. Yep, for sure, that's my last one, is a suitcase. So it looks like an open suitcase. One page is the deeper part of the suitcase, and then the other page is like the part that has the zippered, like meshy side to it, and you put different items that you'd normally pack in a suitcase inside. So that is the 20 file folders that you would get with this product. If you would get it from my store. Now, for those of you that have hung around, the cool thing about this product is for tonight and tomorrow, I have decided to take this product and mark it down pretty significantly. Normally, for the 20 file folders, I would charge you guys $6.50 in my TPT store. I have decided to slash that down, and you can get that now for $4.50, and you're only going to be able to get it for $4.50 tonight and all day tomorrow. Once we hit, like, I'll be kind and say midnight tomorrow, it's gone, and you're going to have to pay full price for it. Not that $6.50 is that bad of a deal for 20 file folders that look pretty sweet, in my opinion. I mean, the dogs in the dog park, and this paint palette where, whoops, that's upside down, where the students can move these pieces of paint over to this paint palette and have it look like it really would in real life. To me, that is totally worth it. Having that age-appropriate kind of material in my classroom is something that gets me so excited. So if you guys have any questions, that's all I have for you. If you want to see what it is again, I know some people are still kind of popping in and out, which is totally fine. But I really feel like this product is something that can be used in lots of classrooms. I mean, I'm going to actually take this and have my students take this to art class, because we all know how hard it is sometimes. My students are in inclusion classes for their specials, so they have a difficult time for those specials teachers to differentiate things for my students in class. So this is something that would be totally age appropriate to have in my art class with my students, with the art teacher. They can talk about the colors, they can talk about if they're primary, you can talk about if secondary colors, primary colors, if you mix colors together, what do you get? All of those art topics, and cover it using this file folder. And some of the other file folders could totally be used. The refrigerator one could be used for health class. You could talk about healthy and unhealthy items in health class and have this file folder there for your students in that class. So like I said, these are so versatile. There's so many different things you can do with them. You can differentiate them so well. I'm wondering if you would ever put an Errorless product in a bundle. Well, that's a good thought. I have a few. I don't have a ton of Errorless products at this point. I have started to put some together. I have some test cards that I've created. I do have some file folders that are pretty much Errorless. So that would be something I could definitely consider. And it would really have to depend on how many Errorless products I had in my store, because at this point I feel like I'm just hitting the tip of the iceberg with these Errorless products and coming up with ideas to help you guys have these at your hands at all times. But that is definitely something I can think about. Thanks for that question. All right, well, like I said, I'm putting this product on sale for $4.50 for the next 36 hours-ish, 24 hours? No, a little more than that, 36-ish we'll say. So if you did like what you saw and it is something that you think you can find useful in your classroom, please, 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 please take advantage of this opportunity. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want to see a full product preview and not just the 2 that I had here, please go to the link in my profile. I do have a story up right now with a swipe up link to the product, and you can go to TPC and see a full video preview if you go to the listing in my store. My store is Teach Love Autism, and if you don't want to go to it that way, you can go to my link in my bio, and you could either click on, the best thing you could do is click on my TPT store, and then it will be the most recent product in my store. So if you guys have any questions, you know you can always DM me. I appreciate you guys taking the time to talk with me tonight and take a look at this new product that I am so proud of. And I hope you guys have a great night, and thanks for watching.